On this episode of Road Trip Masters, we travel back in time to a festival that was 500,000 strong.
So much of what I say gets cut.
Me too.
Then drop in on a hotel built on ledges.
We'll grill up a hangar,
At home, that's normally when I go and grab a couple beers.
Yeah.
roll up to Trout Town USA.
Beautiful.
And pick up some leftover pieces from this past season.
So sit back, relax, and let us do the driving
Right here on Road Trip Masters.
I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer.
We're teachers that have a passion for travel.
Cruising the highways and byways in our 1968 drop-top caddy.
We discover the places and people that make this nation great. We are Road Trip Masters. This week, we roll into Hawley, Pennsylvania, to Ledges Hotel. But before checking in, we decided to make a pilgrimage to the mecca of all music venues, Woodstock, where we traveled back in time and popped in on the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts to learn more about these hallowed grounds. Wade, we're right in the epicenter of the Bethel Woods. Shall I call it Bethel Woods? What's its official title?
We're the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts, and we're standing in the museum at Bethel Woods.
Going through the museum, so many interesting artifacts. It tells a story.
Oh, yeah. We want to tell a whole story, a narrative that starts with the 60s and ends with the culminating event of the 60s, the Woodstock Festival. Without knowing about the war in Vietnam, civil rights, music industry, popular culture, Woodstock is just 3 days in the mud. And Woodstock was a lot more than that. We're still living the legacy of Woodstock.
Can you elaborate on that?
Initially, the media saw it as just a gigantic gathering of unwashed hippies. It was total chaos, unplanned traffic, all sorts of logistical issues, and it was a riot waiting to happen. Well, that's not what happened. The festival organizers positioned it as 3 days out in the country, breathing air that hadn't been breathed before. It was the people, it was that 500,000 people that were at Woodstock that really made the difference. And they embraced that idea of peace and love. They embraced that idea of we can do this together and create a society that's different than our parents.
The museum here is a true treasure in itself, but we were just dying to get out on the actual festival grounds and walk in the footsteps of rock history. And we brought two very special guests along with us, whom we met from season 2 of the show, Grant and Jeannie, original attendees of Woodstock in 1969. Grant, Jeannie, we're here, top of the hill, sacred ground, 1969. You guys were here.
Yep.
Give us a little insight.
Oh boy, peace and love. It was miraculous. There was no pushing, no shoving, no, I want to get into the stage, the front. Everybody just kind of landed, and we're happy to be where they were.
Originally decided to come because Richie Havens was playing here, and we were a big fan and everything. And we came early enough that we were right in front of the stage, and, you know.
We didn't know it
Until we turned around.
But, you know, it wasn't, you know, that close because it was pretty high up to look up and see.
Well, we got our umbrellas. We're gonna go out and tour the grounds. And
Sure, let's do it.
Have some fun.
Yeah, so we must have been like right in here.
See this tower, this right tower?
We were by this tower?
Right there.
No, this way, towards the stage.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
So wherever we are, it's packed. That's what we're saying.
man, it's quite a grade though.
No, it was great for music. See how kind of the fall line was really good. So we were actually looking up when we were sitting up just slightly to see everybody. I think the stage was here, yeah, and you know, facing directly uphill. You see that? Kind of like that?
Yeah.
This is breathtaking. Just want to stay here. I'm sure Jeannie doesn't want us to, but for a couple hours and just look at it.
It looks good.
You know, it's just amazing to think nearly 50 years ago, all those classic bands performed here. Hendrix, The Who, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. All of them right here on this patch of land in Bethel, New York. Brian and I could have stayed forever roaming this beautiful historic site, planted in upstate New York. Woodstock will always be a monumental event that changed a slice of history. Unfortunately for us, it was time to carry on. But before leaving, my son Chris would lay down a tune, one of many that was played at this heavenly paradise. After reliving the past, it was time to make our way to our new base camp in Hawley, PA at Ledges Hotel. And get this, Ledges is owned by Grant and Jeannie. The town of Hawley dates back to the 1790s when pioneers discovered that they could harness the water power from the Paulpack Falls for manufacturing. That's when we met up with Grant and Jeannie's son, Justin. Justin, Ledges, absolutely gorgeous here. What can you tell us about the history of this beautiful, iconic place?
Well, this was originally the O'Connor Glass Factory from 1890. So they made some of the nicest blown glass and cut glass in the world.
Looking around the grounds, absolutely impressive. You have that cascading waterfall coming out of Lake Wallenpaupack, and I'm sure the lake cut down on the flow of the river. It must have been like booming, coming down those falls, rapid roaring. Is there any time that you could see that happen?
Yeah, occasionally they release the dam either for safety or maintenance purposes. It looks almost like a mini Niagara Falls when they do let it out.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Ledges Hotel. Tell us about the grounds and the facilities. How many rooms?
Sure. So Ledges is an industrial contemporary boutique hotel. We have just 20 rooms, 10 luxury suites and 10 traditional standard rooms, with a restaurant that's a small plates or American tapas style called Glass, Wine Bar, and Kitchen.
And then if you look at the rooms, 1-bedroom suites, 2-bedroom suites. Tell us about the design on those.
Yeah, our architect who did the adaptive reuse from factory to hotel was Peter Bolin, is quite a famous architect nationally. He went for very minimalist designs.
From the inside to the outside, views to fine dining, Ledges had it all. We couldn't wait to take a closer look at this premium hidden gem. After taking an extensive look at the Ledges Hotel and settling into our rooms, Brian fled to hit the kitchen and meet with Chef to see what all the hype was about.
Chef Travis, we're back in your office. What do you have for us today?
Today we'll be doing a hanger steak. It's very traditional to the glass menu. The great thing about the hanger steak is it has a lot of fat content. It also soaks up whatever you season it with. So we start ours with salt and pepper, and then we move on to sherry vinegar that's barrel aged, and we do cold pressed olive oil.
Okay, walk us through, Chef.
Okay, so we take our steaks, which we have in our marinade, and we start with a hot pan. We add a little bit of oil to it, and what we're looking for is to brown this meat. So if you see the smoke in the pan, that's a good thing. So we're gonna get this guy in here for about 2 or 3 minutes. We're gonna check him, we're gonna flip him, and we're gonna roast him in the oven.
You're saying that's about a 15-minute wait. At home, that's normally when I go and grab a couple beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, obviously, we can't do that here.
Well, what we can do is talk about these products that are going with our steak today.
So, Chef, we're gonna marinate peppers here?
Yep, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. Then we're gonna get these guys right on the grill.
I'm thinking it's been about 15 minutes.
It has, so it's time to pull this and let it rest. We'll start our plate setup while the steak is resting. The first ingredient we're gonna go with is our guacamole that we make in-house. Our house-made oven-roasted tomatoes. Next ingredients we're gonna bring to the plate is our peppers. So now that our steak is rested, we're gonna give her a slice. We always wanna cut against the grain. Next, we're gonna bring our steak to the plate.
Let me help you out here, Chef. I'll take this little stranger out of here.
We have 2 ingredients to finish the plate. This is our signature steak sauce. Last but not least, our favorite ingredient in this kitchen, a really nice cold pressed olive oil. That's our steak plate.
All right, Chef. I should be sharing this with Nick, but I think in this occasion, I'm gonna keep this to myself.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Hey, thanks, Chef.
Travis banged out this legendary dish, and on top of having a perfectly prepared steak, he hooked me up with an arsenal of assorted meats and cheeses. The best way to enjoy this dish at Ledges is outdoors and on the deck.
Chef Travis was right. This meal truly is designed to be shared. But right now, I'm going to enjoy this $1 million meal with this $1 million view.
With Brian kicking back on the outside deck, Justin and I headed inside to the bar at Glass to see what the bartenders could shake us up and cool us down with on this sizzling summer day. All right, Justin, hey, we're down here. What do you recommend?
We have a great signature cocktail called the Black and Ginger Hot Box. We take a fine Scotch whiskey with a ginger liqueur, and our bartender smokes hops like in beer, and the smoke actually infiltrates the drink right in front of you. It's a great presentation. You ought to try it.
So you're telling me that hops is almost infused into the drink?
Essentially, through the smoke, absolutely.
Let's try this thing. Let's mix them up.
Maybe Jeff will make one for you.
Or 2 or 3. Justin, these look fantastic. I can't wait to put my lips on this.
Cheers.
Ledges is a hard place to leave, but Brian and I finally parted ways so we can hit the great outdoors, and there's no better way to escape than trout fishing. With no experience at all, we decided to call up the experts at Trout Town Adventures.
What? Kessler's thinking.
Yeah, I am. Located in Roscoe, New York, we hooked up with fly fishing pros Phil and Rob. Phil, what are we going to experience today?
We are on the Beaver Kill River outside Roscoe, New York, and we are going to experience some pristine trout fishing.
I can't wait.
Clear, cold water loaded with trout.
Which is perfect because I got my trout shirt off. I got it special for this occasion. I knew this is the one time I get to wear it.
Brian, it's not even trout on there.
It is today.
Well, we're going to break that shirt in.
Hey, what's the next step? What do we got to do?
So we're going to go over and we're going to take a few lessons and get you guys so you can cast. Because obviously, if you can cast, you can reach the fish and your presentation is going to be that much better.
All right, Phil. Looks like you got to take us to school. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's roll.
What you and Nick are going to experience is a reel that does have some ball bearings. It does have a drag that slows down the line or allows fish to take it out. We're going to have a 9-foot pole that gives you quite a bit of length and leverage when you get those trout on to work them and get them in.
While Phil gave us the rundown on the golden flick and dip, Brian and I grabbed some rods and gave it a whirl.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're a pro.
Hey. And after a solid session, it was time to throw on the fisherman's tuxedo. I hope the heck I don't have these things on wrong, Phil. I got a strap issue here, Phil. I don't know if my arm goes back that far. You got your shoes on already?
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing, messing around.
Oh, God, which one were mine, Phil? Oh, I think I pulled a muscle right now in the back. Tight. I'm ready. All right, Brian, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready. Let's give this a go.
All right. Phil, how deep's the river at its deepest point?
Well, we're not going to go in the deepest if we can help it, Nick, because we'll probably be swimming if we're in.
Okay. With rods in hand and true professionals by our sides, Brian and I felt confident in the Beaver Kill River. With hungry trout awaiting their next meal, we were hoping luck was going to be on our side. But then again, we didn't need luck.
Keep reeling.
Oh, don't reel him. Let him have it. Let him have it a little bit. Hold it right there. Just nice and easy. Let him come back to me. I'll try and net him.
Yeah.
Fantastic job.
Fish you on, baby.
I just feel like one with nature, man.
Get in the water nice and easy. Okay. Let him just push him back and forth a little bit. We'll let him go. That's all right. Good.
All right. Wow, man, he's shot
underneath.
off.
No, he's underneath your feet. He's still there.
All right.
Yeah.
So
What
you
you
only
want
have
to
to
do
get
is
the air bladder in?
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to just push him a little bit, give him some oxygen. There he goes.
With one fish in my net already, things were looking good. Unfortunately, it was not the same scenario for Brian.
I think the problem I'm having is right now I keep casting over into the weeds. Oh, we had those 2 bites. That was exciting for a split second.
This is like fishing with the kids.
All right, let's move down into fast water and see what we can produce.
All right.
While Brian tried to switch up locations, it seemed as if mine was working out just fine.
Oh, bigger fish. Oh, what a beauty. Fish on. Oh, he's a beauty. Oh, man, he's... God, Rob. He's fighting. Yeah. That's a big one.
What a day. What an adventure. Bill and Rob couldn't have been better teachers, whether we caught 10 fish or none. It's about getting out on the water and embracing what Mother Nature has to offer. Roscoe and Bethel, New York were truly impressive, and Hawley, PA was absolutely stunning and a perfect way to close out a successful season. But there are occasions while on the open road where we just can't fit everything into an episode, like the time we were in Cape May County and visited a brewery that uses recipes from over 2 centuries ago. So let's travel back in time to historic Cold Spring Village. This open-air living history museum has a special brew house on premise, where very unique beers are crafted in accordance with history. We'll let Claire explain more about this hidden gem in Cape May County. All right, Brian, here we are, Cold Springs Brewery, behind the scenes, and we got something going on special. But before we get into the brewing process, tell us about what this area, this facility is all about.
Well, Cold Springs and the village and the historic town that you have here today was all brought about because of our great water. So we've taken the cold spring and we've used it to make beer. And why? We wanted to support the museum. We have 27 restored historic buildings on a 30-acre site. So we built the brewery to help fund the museum.
This is not your traditional brewery. We are actually going to drink 200-year-old plus recipes, right?
Right, because beer is essentially the same core piece.
I heard what we're going to taste is very simplistic in nature, and it's in this tank right here.
Correct. This is called the Cape May Farmhouse Ale, and it's 3 ingredients: water, yeast, and grain.
So we called over Nick, the brewmaster in training, to give us the rundown on the Cape May Farmhouse Ale. 200 years ago, they would have been doing the same thing here, tasting it as they went, as it fermented, correct?
And then you get the right volume of it, and then once you have the correct alcohol volume, it can just go on to the next process, where it gets chilled, and then carbonated, and then you got fresh beer.
Hey Brian, this is exciting. This is what went on 200 years ago. Picture you and I back in colonial times, outfits on.
What do you mean outfits on? We have outfits on now.
Not like this. We need our little tricorn hat. Excellent. You know, the first thing I'm going to say is sweet. Brian, taste in history, buddy.
I'll be honest with you, I was expecting something a little more offensive, and it's not at all.
No, it's really light.
Really smooth. Wow. Everywhere we go, we run into iconic landmarks that are special and unique to every town. And nothing could be truer than the Concord Point Lighthouse in Havre de Grace.
You're a lighthouse guy? Yep. You must be in heaven.
Tell you what, Brian, going to many lighthouses over the eastern seaboard, getting up there, this one's gonna be easy. And good for you, because you're afraid of heights.
That's correct, but this one I think I can conquer.
So I always thought it's the Havre de Grace Lighthouse, but it isn't. Correct?
It's the Concord Point Lighthouse, because all lighthouses were named for the point of land on which they stood.
What do you think? We gotta climb that tower. And this one's a little one, so you shouldn't have any problems.
Light the way.
Built in 1827 and constructed of local port deposit granite, it is the northernmost lighthouse on the Chesapeake Bay. The tower walls are 3 feet thick at the base and 18 inches up at the top. Wow, it is hot up here. Holy moly.
That fan doesn't do any good either.
Oh, so this isn't even the hot part.
Look at that view, baby. This is what it's all about. Concord Point Lighthouse. 38 feet, they said, high. It's amazing how high 38 feet looks when you're up here. Absolutely incredible. Beautiful. And what a day.
I'm a little nervous.
Are you?
Yeah.
So many episodes and so many fantastic segments this season. But one in particular generated a little at-home friendly competition between Brian and I. And all thanks to the Louisville Slugger Museum. Well, Brian, since we made it home safe, I think it's time for a little challenge.
With our bats?
Well, I don't know if we're going to use these bats. These are absolutely gorgeous. I say maybe we use another Louisville bat.
Sounds good to me. You know I'm up for any challenge.
But with this new Jugs BP3 machine that I got, it has a setting where it'll throw a fastball and a changeup, and you won't know when it's coming.
Wow. Somebody's been practicing.
Hey, you ready, buddy?
Ready. Ah!
I pronounce you the winner.
Nice job. You weren't too bad in there.
I had a blast, but I know what time it is now. Time for me to buy.
Well, another season has come to an end. Each year, Brian and I are amazed by the people we meet and the places we are fortunate enough to go. From delicious meals to the comfort of unbelievable lodging, it always makes the road trips worth it. For now, it was time to put the caddy to rest. With its weathered seats and undoubtable charm, she'll wait till once again we can slam on her pedal. Until next season, I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer. Stay curious, my friends.
Safe travels.